Hello and welcome to our presentation on the air pollution in Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone was the world's first national park, which was signed into office on March 1st, 1872 by President Ulysses Grant. It is also America's largest national park with 3,472 square miles. It is larger than both Delaware and Rhode Island combined. Each year, because of the beautiful scenery and the amazing natural habitat, Yellowstone brings in about 4 million visitors a year. Yellowstone, along with its natural beauty, it is home to many different animal species. These include wolves, bears, especially grizzly bears, has bison, elk, moose, and many other types of animals. Along with the animals, they live in very different habitats. It's scattered with geysers and lakes, rivers, waterfalls, and some of these big habitats include Old Faithful, Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, the Hayden Valley, Yellowstone Lake, Mammoth Hot Springs, Tower Falls, and many other attractions. Although Yellowstone as a whole is relatively untouched by humans, in that we don't have very many buildings on it and very few roads going through it, there are some problems with Yellowstone that has plagued its history. Some of these problems include the massive forest fires that have destroyed millions of acres, animal reintroductions, especially with bison and wolves, animal herd boundary issues, winter use, especially with snowmobiles, and the poor air quality as a result of many different factors.
I will be discussing the issues surrounding air quality and air pollution within our environment that also affect Yellowstone National Park. Increased nitrogen levels are a major contributor to air pollution within the environment, and nitrogen is a nutrient needed for plant growth, but too much can disrupt the plant communities. If nitrogen levels are too high within the plant communities, the chance of having wildfires dramatically increases. In Yellowstone National Park, smoke from the wildfires is the largest source of particulate matter, which is any airborne liquid or solid particle that can cause air pollution. The pollution from the wildfires has not yet had a detectable effect on the air quality within the park, but is slowly worsening over time. Naturally occurring ozone that is present within the upper atmosphere protects life such as trees and plants by absorbing the ultraviolet rays from the sun. Ground level ozone, on the other hand, is a pollutant that occurs when nitrogen is released from vehicles, power plants, and other sources. Ozone concentrations in Yellowstone peak during the spring rather than summer seasons, and this is an indication that human impact is a less significant contributor to harming the environment on occasion. When there are changes within the atmosphere, it can have a large impact on the environment. Ozone levels during growing season can cause the plant species from reaching their full growth potential, and all of these things can harm the environment and decrease the popularity of tourists going to national parks such as Yellowstone. It can also decrease the park experience that the tourists have.
I'll be.
That's great.
How many bloopers?
I need to click that song.
Huh? It's one click, right? Right
Yes,
click?
just right click.
Alright. Hello, my name is Thomas Jean-Baptiste, and I'll be discussing the effects of snowmobile on the Yellowstone National Park environment. Snowmobiles are an excellent special snowmobile vehicle. They provide a sense of freedom and exhilaration and thrill for whoever is riding them. But however, they are very damaging to the environment. The exhaust from the snowmobile emits high levels of CO, which is carbon monoxide. The high-pitched whines of the two-stroke engines threatens the park solitude. It threatens the peace and privacy of pedestrians who are simply taking a stroll through the park. Visitors in the wintertime are reported leaving the park with headaches from breathing in the snowmobile exhaust, breathing in the carbon monoxide, showing the effects of carbon monoxide on these people's health. Visitors are unable to hear the hiss and splash of Old Faithful due to the roars of the snowmobiles, whose roars are even compared to the same roars one would hear at an Indy 500 event. Snowmobiles in the winter causes more pollution than the summertime traffic, as we can see by the graph. Snowmobiles emit a considerably larger amount than any other motor vehicle entering the park at any given time. And this is particularly due to the high density of snowmobiles, which causes these high levels of CO. And this is because when people ride snowmobiles, they usually travel in packs, and all of carbon monoxide is concentrated because of that buildup. And for all the engine types of snowmobile, the two-stroke snowmobile causes the most air pollution out of the four strokes in comparison.
Okay, so what is being done in order to solve these environmental issues within national parks? One thing that they are doing is monitoring levels of nitrogen, sulfur, mercury, ozone, fine particles, and haze in order to assess the status and trends of these chemicals in the air. Another thing that they're doing is evaluating impacts of air pollution on ecosystems. With that, they're doing two different things. One is that they're monitoring nitrogen and sulfur impacts. Due to excess nitrogen can induce fertilization effects, including changes to the species composition of sensitive aquatic and terrestrial communities. Another thing they monitor is airborne toxin impacts. Because air currents transport toxins and deposit them in rain, snow, and dry deposition, they found mercury in park air, snow, and water, which is dangerous to the environment's health. Another thing that the National Park Service has done is come in contact with federal, state, and local agencies, as well as industry and public interest groups, in order to develop strategies to reduce air pollution and to protect and restore park resources. National Park Service has also reviews plans for development that may increase air pollution in national parks. Another thing they do is to reduce emission contributions through landmark recycling efforts by using alternative fuels and hybrid vehicles, and developing an action plan to reduce emissions in all operations across the entire greater Yellowstone ecosystem. In conclusion, what can we do in order to help our environment? We need to preserve resources and take care of our environment by taking personal responsibility in order to improve our environment's conditions. We need to be aware of negative environmental contributions that we bring. And we need to understand that this is not just a national park issue, and that as everyone, we need to preserve Earth for future generations. Thanks for listening, and I hope you learned a lot.
Okay, let's stop that.